If I were to be asked, who is the greatest man you've ever known? Without hesitation, I would say, my dad. Not because he was the perfect father, because he wasn't. In fact, far from it. My dad had a very bad, quick temper. One of my earliest remembrances of him during my tricycle years. Maybe even a bit before, when he threw me face down on a bed and swatted me with a razor strap. Lots of fathers used razor straps on their kids back then, and thin willow branches that stung like hell and left welts on our legs. I'm sure he probably didn't hit me too hard, or too many times at that small age. But it's one of my more prevailing memories when I think back through the years. My brother and I both used to get a lot of spankings. My sister not as much. She and Dad were so close that just knowing he was disappointed in her for something would cause the tears to flow. Dad used a lot of different punishments on we boys at times. A rope, a piece of water hose, spatulas from Mom's kitchen drawer, his hand at times, or whatever size stick or small board he could find lying close by. But I don't remember him ever slapping one of us kids in the face, although I do remember him washing our mouths out with soap one time. Another time, when I was about 6 or 7, and my brother a couple years younger, he locked us in a dark storage closet under the staircase. I don't remember what we had done, but he left us there until we cried ourselves to sleep. Mom told me years later how bad Dad felt about doing that, and how he wished he had spent more time doing things with us kids as we were growing up. And I remember the time in my teens when I accidentally bloodied my brother's nose when we were wrestling around on the floor, and Dad grabbing me by the front of my shirt, ripping it half off as he jerked me up from the floor and threw me against the wall, drawing his fist back with a look of rage in his eyes that I'd only seen a few times before. And I remember his fist shaking in the air, trying to hold back from hitting me. And I remember Mom in the doorway, screaming and begging him not to. I don't remember Dad ever telling me or my brother that he loved us, until I had a son of my own, and I said it to him first. It's not something the men in our family seemed to do back then, at least not those on Dad's side that I can recall. But the deep love and closeness I felt for my son also inspired me to want to feel that same closeness with my own father as well. I remember it was one of the hardest things I ever attempted to do, hugging my own father and telling him that I loved him, but how easy it became for both of us thereafter. I never once questioned my dad's love for me and my brother though, even though he wasn't able to express it personally in our early years. It's just the way things were in those days. But there never was a time when we kids truly needed him that my dad was not there. A few days before my dad died, he and I were sitting alone at his kitchen table, he at one end and me at the other. He was pretty much in a world of his own at the time, his eyes glazed and not able to carry on a rational conversation because of the tumor that was growing inside his brain. I remember we sat there, both of us silent for quite a while, just looking at each other. My thoughts were on losing my dad and not being able to do anything about it, and how much I loved him. All I could think of at that moment wasn't about all the bad things he might have done, or the way he sometimes treated his kids, but what a truly good man he was when it came to his heart, and tears started coming to my eyes. And as I continued to look at him, I couldn't tell what he was thinking, or if he were even able to rationally do so at the time. But tears came to his eyes too. I've often wondered if it was because he was witnessing one of his children in pain and not able to ask why or help. But my dad is gone now, so I'll never know for sure.